All right.
Fucking hell.
That was easy.
Will you help Laura with the things, please?
It's a shithole anyway.
Don't go, please, wait!
The story begins in London, where private investigator Fletcher visits Raymond, a trusted lieutenant of powerful drug, Lord Michael Mickey Pearson. Fletcher arrives at night, cocky and theatrical, armed with secrets, and offers Raymond a deal. In exchange for £20 million, he promises to keep buried a treasure trove of scandalous information about Mickey, his empire, and the silent war already unraveling around them. Raymond, skeptical and increasingly irritated, accuses Fletcher of greed. Fletcher agrees. He is greedy and proud of it. He claims his knowledge is worth that sum and proceeds to spin a long, twisted tale, one that threatens to upend everything Mickey has built. Fletcher's story reaches backward into the past of Michael Pearson, a man born into the barest poverty in the United States. From nothing, Mickey claws his way into the privileged world of Oxford University through a prestigious Rhodes Scholarship. Here, surrounded by the children of British aristocracy and old money, Mickey observes the enormous appetite for marijuana among the upper class. He begins selling weed discreetly to these pampered peers, and soon realizes that dealing comes naturally to him. Where others see a quick hustle, Mickey sees an opening into something far greater. He exploits his surroundings, gains access to wealth and power, and uses violence with careful precision when needed. The morality of it all falls away as he builds a life of comfort and luxury with blood on his hands and money in his pockets. Mickey drops out of Oxford long before graduation. Academic achievement means little when weighed against the staggering sums of profit he can make on the streets and in secret gardens. With cunning and ruthlessness, he builds a drug empire. Not one riddled with street thugs and corner dealers, but a sophisticated machine cloaked in quiet elegance. The key to his operation lies in real estate. Growing cannabis requires space, and in a country like Britain where every inch is accounted for, such land would ordinarily raise questions.
It was just about uncomfortable enough to make everyone feel comfortable.
But Mickey sees what others miss. Across the United Kingdom, many of the old aristocratic families are in decline. They live in crumbling, stately homes passed down through generations, but their inheritances come with massive financial burdens. Taxes are brutal, upkeep is relentless, and the lavish appearances of nobility hide deep wells of debt. Mickey steps into this space like a ghost with a golden touch. He approaches the dukes and lords whose names are etched in history but whose wallets are running dry. In exchange for generous yearly payments and strict silence, he is granted access to the expansive lands beneath their estates. Hidden beneath these ancient homes are massive underground cannabis farms, 12 in total, state-of-the-art facilities run with the discipline of a tech startup and guarded with military efficiency. One such landlord is Lord Presfield, a duke with noble lineage and crumbling resources. His daughter Laura, once a debutante of promise, now wastes away in a dingy apartment among other addicts, far away from home. She is riddled with the nasty H, and for a time, her father looks the other way, unable or unwilling to help. The arrangement between Mickey and Lord Presfield is delicate but lucrative. As marijuana inches closer to legalization in the UK, Mickey begins planning his exit. He wants to cash out while he still controls the entire table. His chosen buyer is Matthew Berger, an American billionaire with clean hands and a sharp eye. Mickey especially chose Berger because of his clean, blood-free hands, but Berger is about to sorely disappoint him. Berger wants a foot in the door of the soon-to-be legitimate weed business. Mickey sets the price at £400 million. He takes Berger to one of the underground grow labs. The location is disguised so well that not even locals know what lies beneath. Above ground, it looks like a countryside barn. Below, it hums with high-tech lighting, automated irrigation, and genetically fine-tuned plants. Staff move like ghosts. Security is tight. Mickey sells Berger not just a business, but a vision. He tells Berger that he is buying the foundation for the superstructure to come. With his blessing, Berger could build an empire even larger now that the legal climate is turning in his favor. Berger is visibly impressed. As Fletcher narrates all of this from Raymond's living room, he digresses to another key figure in Mickey's life.
All right, it's gone out.
His wife, Rosalind. She is sharp, beautiful, and fiercely intelligent. A businesswoman in her own right, she runs an upscale garage and commands respect in her own circles. Fletcher calls her a
Cockney Cleopatra to Mickey's cowboy Caesar. The only weak link.
She is the one person for whom Mickey would burn the world. Her safety and opinion matter more to him than any territory or fortune. That passion is both his greatest strength and his only weakness. Raymond listens quietly but remains unconvinced of Fletcher's worth. When he accuses Fletcher of wasting his time, Fletcher tells him to be patient. Raymond heads to the deep freezer, pulling out meat for roasting. But tucked beneath the slabs of beef and frozen ribs is the frozen corpse of a man. The body is neatly packed, its limbs stiff with death. Raymond takes no special notice, as though such discoveries are commonplace in his line of work. He returns to his seat with meat in hand and allows Fletcher to continue. Back in the story, tension begins to rise. Another player enters the fray, Dry Eye, a rising underboss working for the powerful Chinese gangster, Lord George. Dry Eye approaches Mickey with an offer to buy his business. The offer is bold and disrespectful. Mickey turns him down. Dry Eye leaves insulted but not defeated. He is young and volatile, and he does not take rejection lightly. He does not take no for an answer. Soon after, one of Mickey's prized grow labs, the very same one he showcased to Berger, is raided. The culprits are not rival gangs or trained assassins, but a ragtag group of amateur MMA fighters and aspiring YouTubers known as the Toddlers. These young men film their heist like it's a music video. They overpower the guards, loot the facility, and later post a video online that features them rapping in front of the stolen weed. The footage goes viral, endangering the entire operation. Mickey is furious. Raymond begins moving plants from other sites before more damage is done. Behind the scenes, Coach, the man who trains the Toddlers and raised them like sons, is horrified when he sees what they have done. He orders the video removed immediately, desperate to limit the fallout. Meanwhile, a new layer of trouble simmers. Big Dave, the editor of a powerful tabloid newspaper called the Daily Print, becomes involved. Big Dave is not a gangster or a politician, but he carries influence in a different form. He has long resented Mickey. At a recent event, Mickey embarrassed him in front of wealthy elites, exposing Dave's insecurities and social desperation. Dave has always wanted to be accepted by the upper class. Mickey's disdain cuts deep. Seeking revenge, Dave hires Fletcher to investigate Mickey's business and find any connection to nobility that can be weaponized. This is where Fletcher had come into the picture. Fletcher takes the job with pleasure, weaving together fact and fiction, following trails of secrets and bribes. Fletcher's investigation, fueled by ego and ambition, leads him deeper into the quiet corners of Mickey Pearson's world. One such corner is Laura Presfield, daughter of Lord Presfield, one of Mickey's discreet landlords and business associates. Though born into nobility, Laura now lives far removed from the grandeur of stately homes. Her days pass in the decaying halls of a council estate where addiction clings to her skin like smoke. Her decline is no secret among those who know her name, but the full extent of her ruin shocks even those prepared for tragedy. She lives surrounded by fellow users, a ragtag group of the lost and the volatile, drifting in and out of lucidity. Her once promising life has been consumed by addiction, and now she is no more than a whisper of the woman her family once believed she would become. Lord Presfield, aware that his daughter has become a liability and perhaps moved by some late-blooming paternal instinct, calls on Mickey to intervene. Mickey agrees. The situation is delicate, but his reputation is built on handling the unspeakable. He sends Raymond, his most trusted lieutenant, to retrieve Laura. Raymond travels with a small team, ready for complications but hoping for none. The location is known for violence, squalor, and secrets. Still, the objective seems simple. Extract Laura, bring her home, restore order. Raymond and his men arrive at the estate. The building is a gray slab of concrete rot, its corridors lined with garbage and graffiti. The air inside is thick with neglect. Laura is found inside a small flat, surrounded by people who have long since stopped pretending to care about anything beyond their next fix. Her flatmates react with hostility. Their first instinct is aggression, a knee-jerk defense of their environment and their influence over Laura. But Raymond, skilled in both violence and diplomacy, manages to disarm the tension with a calm presence and quiet authority. He does not raise his voice. Instead, he talks them into a state of uneasy cooperation. Perhaps the calm is real, or perhaps it is only momentary. A surface tension stretched thin. Raymond begins to leave with Laura. She is frail and dazed, her body a shell, her mind somewhere distant. As a precaution, Raymond orders one of his men to stay behind, instructing him to watch the flatmates closely until Laura is safely in the car. The logic is sound, prevent any surprises, but chaos comes anyway. As soon as Raymond steps out, the situation inside unravels. One of the flatmates, a twitchy, aggressive young man named Aslan, grabs a hammer and attacks. The bodyguard is caught off guard but reacts with instinct and training. A brutal fight ensues. The other flatmates, sensing blood, join the frenzy. The lone guard is surrounded. He does what he must. He fights to survive. In the struggle, Aslan is struck hard. The blow sends him stumbling backward. His balance breaks. He crashes over the flimsy balcony railing and falls multiple floors to the concrete below. His death is immediate and gruesome. Down below, a small group of teenage boys gathers. They are not shocked. They are excited. They pull out their phones and begin filming the body, drawn more to spectacle than horror. The sight of a corpse, twisted and broken, becomes instant content. News travels fast. Raymond, hearing the commotion, rushes back, but it is too late. He sees the crowd forming and realizes the danger. If that footage spreads, Mickey's entire operation could be implicated in a scandal with fatal consequences. Raymond immediately dispatches his men to recover the phones. He knows the footage must be erased before it spreads beyond control. The boys scatter, laughing and running, thinking they are too fast, too clever. But Raymond's men are efficient and experienced. They pursue with precision and quickly round them up. The phones are collected, searched, and stripped of the evidence. Or so they think. Unseen amidst the chaos is Fletcher, always lurking, always watching. While Raymond focuses on the crowd, Fletcher slips through the cracks like a shadow. He captures a photograph of Aslan's lifeless body from a distance. It is all he needs, a single image to tell a story, to build a threat. He has what Raymond tried to keep buried. Despite the chaos, Raymond's mission is technically successful. Laura is returned to her family. Her parents welcome her back, arms open and tears restrained. But the moment is fleeting. The damage done to Laura cannot be undone by warmth or status. Her body is frail. Her spirit is shattered. Shortly after returning home, Laura succumbs to the grip of her addiction. She dies of an overdose. It happens quickly, quietly. A tragedy expected, but still devastating. Her death becomes another shadow cast over Mickey's empire. One more body in a growing tally of collateral damage. Fletcher, ever the puppet master in the background, seizes on the incident. He does not exaggerate. He does not need to. Aslan's death speaks for itself. The footage, the photograph, the witnesses. Fletcher suggests that the incident cannot be easily buried. Aslan was not just another junkie. He had family, connections, people who care. His father, as will later be revealed, is not just anyone. He is a powerful Russian man with dangerous friends and even deadlier instincts. The fallout is not immediate, but it is inevitable. Aslan's death becomes a thread, one that Fletcher can pull when the time is right. A knot in Mickey's carefully tailored world. Raymond knows it. Mickey knows it. And Fletcher smiles. Because now, so does he. Events continue to spiral. Mickey's carefully controlled empire is under siege from multiple directions. The viral video weakens the perceived security of his labs. Big Dave's investigation threatens to expose his ties to the aristocracy. Laura's death risks bringing unwanted police scrutiny, and Dry Eye grows increasingly aggressive. The young gangster is no longer satisfied with being an underboss. He wants Mickey's throne. He begins to make moves in the shadows, cutting deals and eliminating threats. Unbeknownst to Mickey, Burger and Dry Eye have entered into a secret alliance. Burger wants the business, but not the price. If Dry Eye can destabilize Mickey's operation, Burger can buy it at a discount. Fletcher continues his tale on how the practical and protective Coach pays a late-night visit to Raymond, Mickey Pearson's ever-efficient right-hand man. He comes not with threats or denials, but with apologies. Coach regrets what the Toddlers had earlier done. Though he trains them in discipline and strength, he has no control over the chaos they have unleashed on Mickey's operation. He pleads for their forgiveness. He is ready to offer his own services as penance. He only asks that Raymond let the boys live. They are fools, but they are his fools, and he holds himself responsible. Raymond, cool and calculating, is not easily moved by apologies. He reminds Coach that the real question is not forgiveness, but access. How did these young YouTubers with no ties to the criminal underworld locate an underground grow lab known only to a privileged few? That information is not common, and someone must have supplied it. Coach responds that he has already done the needful. He has captured the man responsible. The man's name is Fook. He insists on the spelling. Fook with a P. He is a jittery, unremarkable-looking man who happens to be a henchman for Dry Eye, the brash and ambitious underboss of Lord George's Chinese syndicate. Raymond agrees to accompany Coach to interrogate Fuss. They find him wheezing, nervous, and asthmatic. Raymond attempts to relieve his breathing with an inhaler, hoping to extract information, but Fook, sensing an opening, bolts. He runs away, desperate and flailing. The chase spills onto a train platform, but Fook does not get far. In his panic, he slips and stumbles into the path of an oncoming train. His body is crushed instantly, scattering any secrets he might have held. Another dead man in a growing list of corpses. The storm behind the scenes intensifies. Tensions rise with every passing hour. Mickey Pearson, now fully aware of the threats to his empire, decides the time for patience is over. The cannabis lab raid, carried out by the Toddlers but orchestrated by unseen hands, is not something he can ignore. Beneath the layers of clumsy execution lies a deliberate message. Someone tried to embarrass him. Someone tried to shake his foundation. And Mickey is no stranger to retaliation. His investigation leads him to Dry Eye, the young and hungry underboss working beneath Lord George, the head of a powerful Chinese syndicate. Dry Eye is reckless, ambitious, and stepping far outside the bounds of his station. But Mickey understands the game. A move like this does not happen without a nod from above. Whether Lord George sanctioned it or not, the responsibility now sits with him. Mickey decides to send a message not with bullets or bodies, but with fear. He walks into Lord George's kitchen without warning. It is early. The air smells of ginger and oil. Steam rises from woks. Staff freeze when they see him. Lord George appears, surprised and offended. The two men exchange sharp words, but beneath the surface, something else is unfolding. A silent confrontation. A deeper message. Mickey remains calm, cold, calculated. Lord George begins to feel strange. His hands tremble, his throat tightens. Then he begins to vomit, violently and repeatedly. Panic sets in. He cannot stand. His body rebels. In the chaos, Mickey reveals the truth. This is not a spontaneous illness. This is not stress. This is poison. A subtle dose, just enough to cause horror without permanent damage. Mickey has reached into Lord George's sanctuary, his inner sanctum, his own kitchen. There is no place safe from his reach. But Mickey is not interested in killing. Not yet. He wants Lord George to understand the cost of disrespect. He hands him the antidote, a small bottle with clear instructions. The message is simple. Mickey can touch him anytime, anywhere. No guards, no walls, no syndicate is enough to keep the wolf at bay. But Mickey does not stop there. Fear is not always enough. Some debts require action. He believes in balance, precision, punishment, an eye for an eye. He targets one of Lord George's heroin processing plants, a facility tied to George's deeper operations. The strike is fast and deliberate. Mickey's men move with efficiency, leaving nothing standing. The lab is destroyed. Flames rise. Steel melts. The entire facility crumbles into ashes. It is not random. It is not impulsive. It is surgical. A calculated blow meant to wound, not kill. A demonstration of power. Mickey shows that he can retaliate not only with style, but with effectiveness. His aim is not just revenge, but deterrence. The point is to make Lord George think twice before allowing his men to overreach again. By the time the smoke clears, the message has been sent. Mickey Pearson is not merely a businessman. He is a king who still knows how to make war. Lord George is furious. He summons Dry Eye for a confrontation. George chastises him for his insubordination, for attempting to negotiate with Pearson behind his back, for setting off a chain of events that now threaten the integrity of their syndicate. But Dry Eye is no longer a subordinate. He has made other arrangements. As George barks and blusters, one of Dry Eye's own men pulls a weapon and executes George without ceremony. In a single instant, Dry Eye assumes control. His rise is swift and bloody, but it is far from finished. Dry Eye is not acting alone. Behind the smoke, another figure manipulates events. Matthew Berger, the clean-handed American billionaire who once sought to buy Pearson's empire for £400 million. Berger is a businessman, not a gangster. He wants a profitable asset without the baggage of violence, and Dry Eye is his answer. Together they conspire to destabilize Mickey's business from the inside. With chaos swirling, Berger hopes Mickey will be forced to accept a much lower offer. Mickey, however, is no fool. He already suspects the alliance. Dry Eye, impatient and reckless, pushes things further. He arranges a direct attack on Mickey's most valuable asset, his wife, Rosalind. She is in her luxury auto garage, alone except for her assistant, when Dry Eye and his men break in. The assault is swift, brutal, and precise. But Rosalind is no damsel. She kills two of the attackers herself before running out of bullets. Dry Eye corners her. He forces her on her stomach, spreads her legs apart, and fumbles with his belt. He intends to violate her, humiliate her, break Mickey from within. At that same moment, Mickey is on the phone with his wife. He hears strange voices, hears her scream, hears the chaos through the line. Without thinking, he races out, Raymond by his side. They speed through the city, recklessly swerving through traffic. The car crashes, hard and sudden, but Mickey does not stop. He gets out and runs. His rage fuels him. His wife is in danger. Nothing else matters. He arrives in time. Rosalind struggles beneath Dry Eye, who is moments from committing the unthinkable. Her eyes widen in recognition when she sees Mickey. She relaxes, breathes again. Mickey draws his gun and puts 2 bullets into Dry Eye without hesitation. It is quick and clean. Dry Eye dies with his belt still half undone. The war is over. The cost, however, lingers. It is on this night that Fletcher has come to Raymond, offering to sell everything he knows for £20 million. He has spent weeks collecting evidence, piecing together the threads, compiling it all into a screenplay he cheekily titles Bush. It is a complete document. Drugs, murder, corruption, betrayal, all dressed up as fiction. He wants to be paid, and he wants to be paid now. Otherwise, he will go public. He has taken precautions. He claims to be unafraid of death. He threatens exposure if they move against him. Raymond listens. Calm, still. When Fletcher finishes, Raymond reveals his hand. He has been following Fletcher since their first meeting. A tracker was planted during their last conversation. Every location, every stash, every file has been compromised. While Fletcher plotted and postured, Raymond's men were one step ahead. The Toddlers, now working unofficially under Coach's guidance, have raided Fletcher's hidden evidence lockers. Fletcher no longer has leverage. Fletcher, not yet beaten, reveals a final card. Before Raymond intercepted his material, he sold key information to another interested party, Aslan's father. The boy who died during Laura Presfield's retrieval turns out to be the son of a powerful and vengeful Russian oligarch, a former KGB operative with resources and a thirst for retribution. The assassin who tried to kill Mickey earlier was one of his men. More are coming. The attack begins swiftly. Russian hitmen descend upon Raymond's location. Coach, loyal and surprisingly lethal, intercepts 2 of them and dispatches them cleanly. Fletcher takes advantage of the chaos and flees. Elsewhere, 2 other Russian agents have succeeded in capturing Mickey. He is thrown into the back of a car, but before the vehicle can disappear into the darkness, a wild and unexpected intervention occurs. The Toddlers arrive. They do not come on orders. They come of their own accord. Coach's problem has become their problem. They want to make it right. They riddle the car with bullets, killing the Russians and saving Mickey's life. Mickey walks away once more, bloodied but unbroken. The next morning, Raymond begins tying up loose ends. Big Dave, the tabloid editor who funded Fletcher's investigation, becomes the next target. The Toddlers drug him, drag him into a private location, and film him in a horrifying, humiliating act, bumping with a pig. The footage is grotesque and the threat is clear. Publish nothing. Walk away from Mickey Pearson, or face public ruin. Big Dave does not need to be told twice. He vanishes from the narrative. Mickey arranges another meeting with Berger. They meet in a frozen fish plant, another unremarkable front for Mickey's European distribution network. Berger comes prepared with a reduced offer, £130 million, a sharp drop from the original $400 million. He believes the chaos of recent events has devalued Mickey's business. He believes Mickey will accept the lower figure. Mickey has come for something else. He opens a large freezer and reveals Dry Eye's body, now frozen stiff. He cancels the sale entirely. Berger, by colluding with Dry Eye, now has blood on his hands. The business is no longer available, but Mickey is not done. He shoves Berger into a walk-in freezer and locks the door behind him. Berger will die unless he complies. Mickey demands 2 things. First, a transfer of £270 million, compensation for damages, bribes, and restoration. Second, a pound of flesh, literally. Mickey does not care where it comes from, but for what happened to Rosalind, he demands blood. Later, Fletcher, somehow still alive and still scheming, visits a production studio. He attempts to pitch the entire story as a film. He presents it with flair and swagger. His screenplay, Bush, is a polished piece of crime fiction disguised as truth. The studio listens. The wheels begin to turn. Fletcher exits the studio feeling satisfied. He gets into a waiting cab, ready to disappear. But the cab is not just any cab, it is a trap. Raymond sits in the driver's seat, silent and smiling. The doors are already locked. Both exits are blocked. Fletcher is going nowhere. The final moves play out quietly. The Russians have been neutralized. Berger is frozen, literally or figuratively. Big Dave is silenced. The Toddlers are forgiven, now considered unofficial assets in Mickey's expanding war chest. Coach has earned trust and protection. Rosalind is safe. Raymond remains ever loyal. Mickey returns to his empire, wiser, bloodier, sharper. It is unclear what exactly happens to Fletcher, but on receiving news of his capture, the Pearsons celebrate in style. And that is how it ended. Keep watching for more. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.